Heaven is a multidisciplinary artist from Flint, Michigan who focuses on channeling her talent and creativity into meaningful works of art. She attended the University of Michigan Flint for her BFA, and she also teaches art in her community. She produces artwork that aims to reconsider our inner consciousness, our natural environments, however man-made they might be, consumer society, and she refers to how they connect. Heaven would like for people to look beyond the outer layers of distraction, the conspicuous surface, and into the deeper, thicker layers that connect experience and time into form and space. We see the physical connection in the work, object to object, but are we looking at the dimensional connection? As a multidisciplinary artist, Heaven's exhibit combines mixed media art and assemblies into interactive pop-up installations. She enjoys experimenting with a range of materials and found objects from her hometown and various assembly techniques that enhance the understanding of dimensional space and optical illusions. We see it all here as she takes us to Chevy Commons, formerly known as Chevy in the Hole, for her first installation project of this capacity. Heaven's childhood was filled with bold visuals of urban life in the heart of the city, with the colors, smells, sounds all around, and the atmosphere that matched in boldness. Drawing was her first method of personal expression, though its comfort and rules are different than her newer workings. She is mainly self-taught in assembly, sculpture, and installations. She feels assemblage gives her a freedom to express herself and tap into the process of understanding dimensional space, time, and movement, along with method and material. Heaven has a peculiar fascination with sculpture, arranging recycled objects and textiles, and connecting them to our own unique perceptions of past, present, and future. When we consider dimensional space, we often stop thinking about it past the 3D. Heaven's work aims to consider all of the moments before, during, and after, the entire process of how we develop and string ourselves along. The clear thread connecting each individual piece in Heavy.1 physically represents that which we cannot see in the fourth dimension. You have to look to understand how it might link Flint's movements and consumerism of the past to our present-day social and economic climate. She finds beauty in her art's chaos, the lovely confusion that manipulates optical perceptions and bends rules in the mind. She says, "I craved perfection as a kid, but I learned in adulthood that the patchwork I fuse together gives clarity to my chaos. It is who I am. Assembly lets it all go out of me and into a tangible framework that's not as vulnerable as my writings, contained however heavy." Each piece is either heavily layered, heavy in weight, or both. Heaven would like to help other artists in Flint have access to fine art supplies and studio space to work. This is her goal as a teacher and artist. We'll begin with featuring layered 2, 3, 4, and 5 from the years 2004 to 2020. It is 35 inches around and heights vary. In this body of work, 4 tire platforms represent different movements that have taken place in Flint: land, fur, lumber, and automotive. Each platform is connected by a clear tread of line and iridescent fabric of red, blue, and purple, like a river. Layered 2's platform hosts a clay vessel, coiled depicting the female form in a continuum of birth and death. On the opposite side of the vessel, we see the tree of life. On Layered 3's platform lay a lush white fur coat from which an arm and hand emerge warm and fashionable. Nearby you will find an interactive music box, chimes with the sound of music. Upon Layered 4's platform rests a root system of a tree pulled from the muck of the Flint River. Its bark stained a rich mahogany. Layered 5's platform contains a host of wires upon which a golden stone oil bottle rests with monster truck wheels climbing to the top, painted gold. Next is Maize and Bluish from the year 2020. It is 36 by 24 inches. It is mixed media on wood board. Maize and Bluish is a painting assembly and incorporates organic objects with non-organic objects. The figure in the painting is seated and looking away from the viewer. She is masked and draped in various colors of blues and purple. Branches shift outward from the 2D surface into a 3D space. Keys hang from fabric off nails that stagger across her lap. She is surrounded by various golds. Heaven's next work is called Caddy, from the year 2020. It is 54 by 72 inches. It is mixed media on steel. The painting is done in layers of spray paint in a camouflage array of red, gold, and black. The words on this piece say keep, step. Continuing through Heaven's gallery, we have Dream Water from 2014, which is ink wash on paper. It is 18 by 24 inches. This ink wash painting has its roots in the Tang Dynasty. It's achieved here in Heaven's work by tonality, shading, and depth, and a process of layering ink washes on the paper to achieve varied shades. In the foreground of the ink wash sits the canoe anchored to the bank of the river in a dark shade of black water. The inner parts of the canoe are easily seen in this wash: the deck planks, york, bilge, hull, and stern, along with paddles, all symbolize stability and trust within the vessel. This way of washing in grayscale pulls the viewer into the canoe. The middle ground is in high contrast from very dark water to a light shade in the background. Next, we have Crush from 2019. The dimensions are 58 by 58 by 16 inches. It is mixed media on steel. Crush was assembled from a Crown Victoria Flint police vehicle trunk and holds weight in its form. The painting technique creates the illusion of being on a flat surface, but upon closer approach, you see varying depths and damage. The female form sits in swirling colors of glamour, her face untouched by it. A bumper sticker reads, "No soliciting." Pearls adorn the shape of the female's head and are impressionistic in style. Moving on in the Heavy.1 exhibit, we have Golden Reproductions from 2019. The size is unknown. The weight is unknown. It is mixed media on plastic and steel. In this installation, 4 golden heads are linked loosely together by a heavy gold chain. The artist was influenced to do this work after observing Keberangkatan, meaning departure, by Agus Suwag. He's referred to as a satirist or a moralist and world-renowned contemporary artist from Indonesia. We progress to a personal favorite of mine, Hull, from 2019. The dimensions are 58 by 58 by 16 inches. It is mixed media on canvas and wood board. Hull is assembled from wreckage found from collision sites around Flint. Tires and parts were acquired from the oldest neighborhood tire shops, along with rope, metal fencing, duct tape, spray paint, foam spray, industrial adhesive, dirt, screws, nails, and her very own lead pipes. Heaven was inspired by artists such as Thornton Dial and Chikaya Booker, who both have works of art being shown at the Flint Institute of Arts in her hometown. This assemblage is packed full of movement and scale. The music box that chimes Easter Parade is eerie, coming from the dark figurative work of assembled beings which emerge out of various layers and depths, but still contained. The penultimate work for Heavy.1 is Thanks from the year 2020. It's 47 by 62 inches. It's mixed media on steel. The painting is done in layers of spray paint, heavier than it looks, with the words, "Believe there is good in the world," highlighted in silver font. The hood of the S10 was salvaged from Grand Traverse Street in Flint. And the final spotlight for Heaven's exhibit, Heavy.1, will be put on a fan favorite, Dear Betty, from the year 2015. It is 10 by 13 inches, and it's mixed media on board. In this image, the artist has tested her boundaries and painting skills, with abundance of thinned layers amalgamating her materials of acrylics, ink, gouache, oils, colored pencils, and markers to form Dear Betty. On behalf of Heaven, her works, and Chevy in the Whole, thank you for experiencing Heavy.1. Please visit this page again soon, and make sure to follow Heaven on Instagram and Facebook.